Yeah, it's just easy.
But yeah, so we really want to learn how to change our perception on progress.
Yeah.
We need to change our perception on what progress is and what progress means to us.
That this requires a little bit of a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
So don't expect this to like instantly happen. Like, oh, I'm gonna now track my progress this other way. Once you decide to start tracking different things, it will take time. And even, I mean, we're all so programmed, you know, even after you've like, oh, I've changed, you know, it's been a year or two since you were tracking your weight, that old way of thinking may sneak up on you. Expect it to happen. It's okay. And just know that, oh, that's my old way of thinking trying to crop up again. And just, you know, face it and don't get mad that old ways try to creep up. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, but this is a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
So expect it to be a little bit of a challenge, but it's also very liberating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you want to do when you're trying to shift this paradigm, you want to think of fitness as a skill.
Yes,
And
it's a skill.
I want to start off with an example, right? Let's say you wanted to learn how to play the guitar. Would you judge your progress exclusively on whether or not you were able to play the guitar solo in Freebird by Leonard Skinner, right?
Yeah.
Like 1 month in, if you couldn't play that guitar solo,
can't
would
play
you
the
be like,
solo.
oh, I failed.
I'm
Oh,
a failure.
I failed, yeah.
Why can't I do this?
Right, 3 months in, 6 months.
It's
12
ridiculous.
months. It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Because playing the guitar is a skill and it takes time to master that skill. And not only that, within the skill of playing that guitar solo, there are countless sub-skills that you need to master, right? You need to master all these little things before you're able to play that guitar solo. But I guess the question is, why do we view fitness so differently, right? Like fitness is a skill. Learning to exercise is a skill. Learning to eat healthy is a skill. And these skills take time to develop. So it's important that you're able to take a step back and acknowledge the progress that you've made.
Yes.
Even if that progress hasn't led you to your obscure random goal weight that you decided you want to weigh.
Right. And there are skills in health and fitness that seem like they have nothing to do with health and fitness. I just had a conversation last night with someone that she realized that one of her health and fitness skills that she didn't have until recently was the ability to talk to get support from people around her. And she goes, I can't have health and fitness unless I am surrounded by other people that are supporting what I'm trying to do. And she says, I always thought I was supposed to do it by myself. That was her paradigm. That it's, you know, she's superwoman and she has to do this by herself.
Yeah.
So she is learning the skill of talking to others, having conversations, asking for what she needs. You cannot get healthy without being able to ask for what you need and be able to ask for help.
Yeah.
So that is a skill.
Yeah, and that's a big one, I think, with typically moms more than dads.
Yeah.
We see like a lot of super moms.
Yeah.
Keep running the household. They're working. They're doing this, that,
Super mom or martyr mom.
Or martyr mom, yeah.
Yeah. That's a big hurdle. If you can't learn how to recruit help, make yourself a priority, your health and fitness isn't going to happen. So why not track that skill?
Right. That's a perfect example. There are so many different skills that you can track that will show you that you're making progress even when the number on the scale isn't dropping. So, fun fact, did you know that according to the CDC, only 23% of Americans get enough exercise? So, and enough exercise is really hardly anything. It's 150 minutes, so 2.5 hours of moderate intensity exercise and 2 days of strength training.
Okay. So for the masses, like I've been taught that since elementary school, those numbers, that amount of exercise is just to avoid diseases. This isn't for thriving.
Yeah.
So you should actually, at some point, be able to do more than that.
Yeah. Well, right. You want to be able to do more than that. But so basically, if you were to work out at, Progressive Athletics 3 days per week, that would put you automatically in the 77th percentile. Not even talking about, okay, how much did I lift that day? How much, how many reps did I get that day? Not even worry about the details. If you were to just work out 3 days per week, you're already ahead of
Right.
of a majority
And
of,
that is progress.
right, that
Just
is
showing
progress.
up.
Just showing up.
Yeah.
Another one. Did you know that eating 3 servings? Well, this is a really interesting one. Eating 3 servings of veggies and 2 servings of fruit per day can reduce your risk of death by 13%. Reduce your risk of death from cancer, and this is from Harvard, by the way, so this is legit. Reduce your risk of death from cancer by 10%. Reduce your risk of death from heart disease and stroke by 12%, and reduce your risk of death from respiratory disease by 35%.
That was surprising. The respiratory one is surprising.
Yes. Now, I'm sure there are some, it's like,
Yeah.
correlation, causation,
Right.
debate could be had.
That's
but-
true. If you're eating vegetables and fruits, you're probably not smoking.
Right, you're probably not smoking. But that doesn't make it insignificant.
Right.
Because I think that's very telling that these habits build on each other.
Yeah.
Right? And if you are the type of person who has developed the skill of fitness, then yes, if you're eating, 3 servings of veggies, 2 servings of fruit a day, yes, you probably are also working out, right?
Yeah.
Because you've developed the skill of fitness.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be dismissive of that fact, right? Because just saying, oh, well, yeah, of course they live longer because they probably also, go for walks. They probably aren't as sedentary. It all goes together. It all goes together, and it's all about momentum. And so, yes, you might not start out, eating 3 servings of veggies a day, 2 servings of fruit, exercising 3, 4, 5 days per week. You might not start out that way.
Right.
You may only start out working out 1 day per week
Yeah.
and eating 1 serving of veggies per week. But eventually, it compounds, right? As you learn how to navigate your life with these skills, you eventually reach that point where you, again, develop the skill of fitness.
Yeah, definitely. And you make it easier for yourself as you start putting those skills in. You're making making it easier for your future self to make even better decisions and get more skills.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Right? Because the people around you start to get used to that. So when I started the health and fitness, my journey here, like everyone around me thought, oh, here she goes again. She's not going to stick with it. But as time went on, I started to develop credibility because I'm like, oh, 6 months went by. Oh, she's still doing this. So the same thing happens. Like when you stick with something, pick something you can stick with, something simple. Don't want to take on too much at once. But as you develop that skill and get better and better at it, and you're eating a little better, then you are able to trust yourself because you're keeping your promises to yourself. And then the people around you start to see, they start to expect that from you, like, hey, where's your vegetable with dinner? I thought you always had a vegetable with dinner. You start, so your environment starts to support you.
Yeah.
Because they start to expect that, and you start to make it easier for yourself.
And then on the other side, you end up becoming the good influence.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like if you can see it through,
Yeah.
if you could get through that point where you get your support around you, then it turns from them taking you seriously into like, oh, well, maybe I'll come to the gym with you, this week and kind of, just see what it's all about. You start impacting people in a positive way.
Especially if you're a parent. Whatever your kids see you do, even if they don't do it the first 20 years of their life or whatever, that is a profound example.
Yeah.
If they see their parent doing it, they will eventually do it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think we just hit another way of tracking progress.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
How supportive are the people in your life?
Yeah.
That's another way, that's another indicator of, hey, I'm on the right track. I'm developing the skill of fitness. If your husband or wife or whatever, was kind of like, okay, we'll see. Yeah.
A skeptic.
I'll see you back here in chocolate cake land in a month, when you're done with this fad diet or this fad workout.
You could track your street cred.
Yeah. That's another way to track your progress. Another way that is more specific to like exercising in general is tracking your weight, not how much you weigh, but
the weights you're lifting.
What you're actually lifting, right? So the standard squat for a beginner woman, a woman who is a beginner to lifting, right? The squat is 65 pounds.
Okay.
Right? For a man, it's 140 pounds.
Okay.
those numbers, if you don't work out, if you don't lift with a barbell, that may sound like, whoa, that's a lot of weight. It's not a lot of weight. We have people here at the gym who can do that easily, like no problem.
Yeah.
It's not, once you've been working out, it's really not a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But it's a good way to, again, track progress. Why is that not considered progress, but the number on the scale is?
Yeah.
Right? And so our whole point in giving you these examples, guys, is that there are so many different ways that you can tell you're making progress.
Yeah.
And if you're only fixated, if you're only focused on what the number on the scale says, you'll drive yourself crazy. And I can almost guarantee you, you will not make progress if you're only focused on the number of the scale. And if you do, it won't be sustained. Because doing that does not arm you with the necessary skills to make legitimate, long-term, sustainable progress with your fitness.
Tracking only weight on the scale, in most cases for the clients I work with, it is just, most of the time, it's very discouraging. Because when you're building all these skills that are not showing up on the scale, then when they keep getting on the scale, it blinds them. It's like putting blinders on. You can't see the things that are happening. So they're like, oh, I'm not, it's been 8 weeks. I haven't lost any weight. I'm like, yeah, but you don't feel guilty about eating food anymore. You're eating slowly. You're having conversations at the dinner table instead of watching TV while you're eating. They're like, all these great things are happening. Their nutrition levels going up. Their energy levels up. But they're blind to all of the wonderful breakthroughs they've made because they're like, oh, but the weight's the same. It's always, oh yeah, but, they minimize all that progress. Like, but the weight is the same.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, and I've even had it go to an extreme where someone had an emotional breakdown because, I've done things perfectly for 6 weeks and the needle didn't move, the weight didn't move, and she just fell apart.
Yeah.
Right? That's the damage that scale tracking can do.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with it. Like I would suggest most people should just throw their scale away or just don't get on it.
Yeah.
More than once a month.
Right.
Yeah.
If you can't if you're the type of person where you can be okay with whatever the weight is, and it's just out of curiosity, you're just like, I wonder how much I weigh. You could hop on once a month, maybe twice a month, then that's okay if you genuinely can't handle that. But if you're the type of person where you get fixated on why isn't the number moving? Why isn't it going down? And you weigh yourself every day, twice a day. Yeah, it's not good for you. It's going to be counterproductive. Stop weighing yourself. Yeah,
it sabotages everything, and again, it blinds you to what the progress you're really making.
Yeah, for sure. It's so kind of bringing it all together, guys. It's important to understand that real progress. It's not sexy. It takes time.
Yeah.
It just takes time. Don't be a child. Don't be impatient. Just settle in, right? Like you're trying to get in shape for the rest of your life. You literally have the rest of your life to do this.
Yeah.
So why are you in such a rush to see some obscure number on a scale that you just thought of that has no basis in reality for what is actually good for you?
Exactly. Yeah.
Just chill out. And